McGonigle's first major league at-bat. Bases loaded, nowhere to put him. He's got a great eye, makes really good swing decisions.
Yes, he does.
And Pavetta's going to have to come into him, and he's going to be looking for something he can hammer. This is a great situation right here for McGonigle.
Line drive down the right field line. It's going to drop and score 2. Keith is home. Green right behind him. Torque over to third. Throw to second. Not in time. Kevin McGonigle, first major league at-bat, is a 2-run double, and the Tigers take a 3-0 lead in the first.
Welcome to the big leagues, Kevin McGonigle. Nowhere to put him, and he says, you know what? I've seen people try to get ahead of me with a first-pitch fastball. I think Pavetta's going to try to do it right here. He does, and Kevin McGonigle's waiting for it. With that little bit of a cutter, took a little bit off of it, but still able to get his hands inside, pull it, get that barrel of the bat right down the right field line. What a way to start for Kevin
That's
McGonigle.
His family watching, brother, sister, mom, up. And now Kevin McGonigle bats with Torkelson at first and a hole to shoot through on the right side. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. On the appeal, Mike Estabrook. Dan, you were so impressed the games you saw Kevin McGonigle this spring. You never saw him take an off-balance swing.
No. I mean, that might have been one of the worst ones, the in-between one that we ever saw. You know, he just seems to just take and see the ball pick it up so clearly from the starting pitcher or from the pitcher. Just right out of the hand, he sees it and makes those real good swing decisions on when to lay off.
It feels like that's his superpower, Dan. I mean that. And I've talked to him about it. I said, have you always been able to do that? And he said, yes. He's able to recognize pitches. Whether it's the spin, he's always timed up for the fastball, whether it's spin on a breaking ball or the seams on a changeup. He sees the ball. He recognizes pitches. And once he's faced a pitcher one time, he feels like, okay, I know what his pitches do, and I'm ready for the second at-bat.
And that looked right there, that curveball. That was a pretty good looking curveball. It started at that top of the strike zone where a lot of times hitters will give up on it, thinking it's a high fastball. McGonigle stayed back, and then right at that last split second was able to swing because he knew it was going to be a strike.
Look at the cat-quick feet of Freddie Fermin.
Boy, and how about just laying off, too? I'll come down with that curveball a little bit, just recognizes it right out of the hand.
You're not going to run on that guy.
No. How about having he and Salvador on the same team?
Ooh. Sixth pitch of the at-bat. Down the right field line in the corner. Off the top of the wall. Another extra base hit for McGonigle. Throw to second. Not in time. First 2 major league at-bats, 2 doubles for Kevin McGonigle.
Boy, another four-seam fastball, and it's up and in, and McGonigle can really turn on that ball. And Tatis Jr., my goodness, he played that ball off that right field wall and made it close at second. But McGonigle's smelling double all the way, and we've watched him. Look how short he cut that base. Made that nice little turn and then started towards second base. If he's out, down and away from Pavetta, and that way he knows that they're going to try to pitch him that way. So that'll just tell you how hard it is to hit that four-seamer.
Kevin McGonigle is always timed up for the fastball. I find it fascinating, Dan, that he can not only, we talked about his ability to read pitches, but read the seams on a changeup. Because that is a pitch that AJ talked about during the spring is still very valuable. As the league has gone to more sliders and fewer fastballs, hitters have started to hit spin. So the changeup remains a huge weapon. If the guy's got a fastball changeup combination, as he said, it's all about disrupting timing. Kevin McGonigle recognizes changeups as well as he recognizes spin. And that to me is a special talent and just one of the many attributes that he brings to the major leagues.
And it's just when you have velocity being just so much of every pitcher's repertoire, that's all they want to do is the harder the better. that you're going to have that changeup be a very important pitch for pitchers, just because of pitchers throwing harder and harder and harder every year.
Works the count even. Cues it off the end of the bat. That's going to be a tough play for Bogarts, and not in time. Smile on his face. Yeah, a couple of doubles and then a cue job, and he's 3 for 3.
Yeah, enjoy it, because there'll be a whole lot of line drives right at people too. But a good changeup just a little bit out in front kind of cues it out there. But I don't know if it's surprised is the right word, because McGonigle runs well, but he gets down that line really quick.
Yes, he does.
There was a lot of times where he hits a routine.
Understood why he appreciates the fact that his dad is the only coach really that he's ever had. And he, as his dad said, force-fed him baseball, but also Tony Gwynn. And he said, and he listened. His dad's name is Kevin, and he had him just watching Tony Gwynn video after video. Not just the swing, but I love how Cody put it in the story, the approach and the aptitude. And so how appropriate that he makes his major league debut in the ballpark. Well, Tony Gwynn hit at the old ballpark, but one of the most famous hitters in this franchise's history, in baseball history, one of the best pure hitters baseball has ever seen. Into the gap in right center, it's a 4-hit day for Kevin McGonigle. Tony Gwynn is looking down and smiling at this. You just can't script it any better.
And there you go. I mean, left on left, and it looked like Peralta almost like quick pitched him. Changed his delivery a little bit and kind of slide stepped, even though he was in the windup, and just trying to fool